Well, 2016's out. Donald Trump is now God Emperor of the nation and leads a real-life Avengers lineup that consists of himself, Nigel Farage, Marine Le Pen, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Vladimir Putin. And also Mike Pence. What a crazy time to be alive it is! And of course, the 2016 anime season came with its own share of crazy. From announcements of a second season of Fooly Cooly,
Hooray!
Announcements of a third season of Code Geass,
Hooray! Question mark?
the premiere of a brand new and lamentably lame Berserk anime, and of course the run of the almighty JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. But the thing was, the anime I was looking forward to week after week was actually a bit of a late entry. But I kid you not, I did not have a better time with any anime throughout 2016 than I did with Drifters. And considering the competition it had to contend with, that is not an accolade I'm bestowing upon it lightly.
Battles are just a bloody afterthought to the moves you've already made. You hand your foe his defeat in moments like this, well before the carnage.
Now, something about Drifters should stand out to you. That's because it's made by Kota Hirano, creator of the much beloved and highly recommended Hellsing. The basic premise of Drifters is that it takes historical figures and drops them into a D&D style world. Figures like Shimatsu Toyohisa, Oda Nobunaga, Nasu Sukitaka Yoichi, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Hannibal Barca, Scipio Africanus. Now, while all these characters are definitely part of the cast, the main character is without a doubt Toyohisa. Following his death after the Battle of Sekigahara, Toyohisa finds himself spirited to another world, where he meets Yoichi and Nobunaga, the latter of which he is not too happy about because Nobunaga is to Japan what Benedict Arnold is to America. In other words, he's the one guy you are not going to hear a kind word spoken about. After getting their bearings, the trio discover that they are in fact drifters, and they have been brought to this world to do battle with another force known as the Ends, which are made up of other historical figures such as Joan of Arc, Anastasia Romanov, Hijikata Toshizo, Grigory Rasputin, and they are led by a dark and enigmatic figure known only as the Black King. And they seek the destruction of this world, and it's up to the drifters to stop them. Okay, so the premise is pretty straightforward, but you know what? I didn't really care because the story was so well told. In fact, this was pretty much my impression while I was watching Drifters.
This is the old days, and the bad days, the all or nothing days. They're back.
What's really helping Drifters, though, stand apart from the rank and file is that it gives the writing a chance to play with these figures' personality and characters. Examples? You have a Nobunaga who now has regret for his actions.
When Honoji Temple was set to the torch and I had to stare betrayal in the face, the person I first suspected was my own son. But Nobutada died in battle, thinking he followed me to the grave. I'm a fool, unfit for the mantle of supreme leader.
You have Yoichi who feels conflicted.
Yoshitsune! Upon my life, I will follow your orders no longer!
Do as you will, Yoichi. Of course. Next time, we can speak face to face.
You have Hannibal who's not only gotten old, but also senile.
We must defend Carthage! If we are not vigilant, it will fall to the enemy! Ah, my young brother Magan. Round up the elephants! I wish to cross the Alps on them and blacken the eye of Rome!
Whoever you're yelling about isn't here.
There are just so many possibilities with this premise alone that that's enough to intrigue you. Now, the story may not be anything earth-shattering, but you know what? In this case, simplicity is best. We are being dropped into an alien world that's more than likely very complex, so we need the story to be very simple just so we know what's going on. So one thing you can say about the story is that it's easy to follow, it's well-paced, and you're never going to feel like you're lost. You at least know what's happening. You know who's who. You know who the good guys are, the drifters. You know who the bad guys are, the Ends. Luckily, though, the anime is also very cognizant of the fact that this is not going to carry the story. So it also drops a little mystery in regards to the characters of Murasaki and Easy, who are essentially the puppet masters of this series. Murasaki brings in the drifters. Easy brings in the Ends. What are their goals? What's their end game? Why are they doing this?
I have no idea!
And beyond their roles as the series puppet masters, we don't even know much about these characters. And this is a good thing. This leaves unanswered questions and a lot of mystery that presumably we're going to learn more about as the story progresses. That does a lot to hook the audience because it keeps you coming back for more. I want to know why Murasaki and Easy are in this feud. I want to know what their endgame is. Now, seeing as how this anime is based off of Kota Hirano work, you can definitely tell that this is not an anime that lacks an identity or style. Because just like in Hellsing, Drifters is full of gory ultra-violence, combined with batshit goofy humor.
Got time on your hands?
Yeah?
Then start earning your keep.
What the plug?
In Hellsing's case, most of the time the humor stuck out like a sore thumb just because of how forced it was. But with Drifters, I sort of get the idea that Hirano's figured out how to make it flow better. And in regards to the comedy, that also leads into the English dub. No, the English dub isn't particularly bad, however, it is very uneven. You have actors like Robert McCollum and Gwendolyn Lau who do a lot better in the comedic parts instead of the dramatic parts. Gwendolyn Lau especially steals the scenes when she has to play up Olmin's hysteria.
I know you've been watching us from afar, but on whose orders?
No! He's gonna cut my head off! He's one of those ghosts who wants to
Who are you calling a ghost?
And though I don't relish having to admit this, there are parts of the English dub that are objectively worse than in the original Japanese. One of the most egregious examples of the English dub being worse than the original Japanese concerns the character Easy. Now, watch this character and kind of try to guess what she's like.
You know in your heart I'm gonna win this thing. All you're doing is running down the clock. Admit defeat like the bland bureaucrat you are. Murasaki! You son of a bitch!
Now, if you guessed that Easy is kind of a brat, you are correct. Now, in the English dub, she's voiced by Monica Rial. Now, Monica Rial is a talented actress. Monica Rial is trying her best. Unfortunately, Monica Rial is not as good as the original Japanese actress, Kanai Ito. Frankly, Kanai Ito does a much better job of playing bratty than Monica Rial does.
戦いに勝つのは私なの。無駄なあがきなんかしないで、素直に敗北を認めたらどうなの？紫！ This is definitely a case where I cannot recommend one version over the other. You sort of have to pick what you're willing to put up with. For me, I stick with the English dub mostly because most of the cast isn't Japanese, and therefore does not make any sense to me to have to listen to characters like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid speaking in Japanese when they're clearly supposed to be American cowboys. So to sum it all up, Drifters comes in with plenty of personality and personal style associated with its lineage that includes balls-to-the-wall action and violence, along with some admittedly goofy humor that may or may not be your cup of tea, but it works here. Drifters isn't just an amazing follow-up to Hellsing, it was the perfect anime to end 2016 on, and with a second season on the horizon, I'm hungry for even more. 2016 had no shortage of great anime, but for me personally, Drifters was the best anime of 2016. So seriously, go watch this!